Hello world, and welcome back to Minecraft Memoir. This is episode 36. In the last episode, we worked on the sugarcane farm and continued quarrying out areas for the Aleph library. In today's episode, I'm not really sure what we're going to do. Probably continue working on the library. But before then, I kind of want to talk to you a little bit. I'm just going to walk around here because I've made a few minor changes. Nothing big, just like cleaning stuff up. But we have hit 18 subscribers on YouTube. The 18 number itself is not huge, but like we're over 10 and 15 subscribers, which are pretty decent milestones in my opinion. I had actually planned on doing something for the 10 subscriber special, but I forgot, and that was a while ago. So, oh well, we'll do something maybe for 25 or 50. It's not going to be anything big. I'll probably just talk about myself a little more. Um, I know, pretty self-centered, but give you an idea of who you're watching, some more stuff about my life, yada yada. Um, and on the last video, the literal last video I posted in real time, I think 5 days ago, is at currently 98 views, which is insane. It's almost at 100 views. I saw it hit like 80, and I was like, oh man, like I should just rewatch this thing 20 times and then I'll hit 100 views. And I didn't have to. The only time I viewed it was like the first time just to make sure, it was quality. I didn't miss anything. So that's insane. 100 views, like that's a large classroom of people who watched my video. Um, Insane. So I'm gonna keep publishing these videos, and hopefully people keep viewing them. If not, I'm still gonna keep publishing these videos because I enjoy making them. But thank you very much for both, that subscriber milestone and that view milestone, or the almost view milestone, I suppose. I need 2 more views, whatever. Still, thank you very much. So a few things I did in here. One, you can see I put in the like wool and torches here. Um, these will be replaced with glowstone, as I said. I initially had them going all the way around, like chandeliers, but it didn't look really good. It was very cramped, very busy. So I think that's better. I actually might remove these side fence posts and have like one there, and then one there, and one there. So, but that's for the future. I'll probably mess with that once we actually get our glowstone. You can also see here I did something similar with these lights. They were just these like cobblestone pillars, I think, hanging from the ceiling. So I tried dressing them up a little bit. I think I'll put that 3x3 cobble back into the ceiling and just replace it with a fence post. But it's a lot better. It looks neater than the just random cobblestone things. What else? I feel like I did. Oh yeah, at the little gateway across the stage, I smoothed out the landscape. I said that we were going to do like the pathway here and the rest of the pathways on camera, and we will. I just cleaned this up because it was really hard like jumping up the steep slope that was here before. So this looks pretty nice. I also, smoothed out this landscape here to make the pathway like a little more recognizable. We know like where the pathway is actually going to go now. Like I, lifted up this dirt layer here, clean that up. So it looks pretty good. We'll put in that pathway in some future video. I don't even know when we'll actually get to it. So yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about was I was having a conversation in the comments of my last video, shout out to Tetris, and they recommended I look at this one channel named Matre des Blocs. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And their Nixa World Tour. That YouTuber, I'm not going to say the name again and butcher it, posted like 4 years ago. They haven't posted in a while. but their world was a like 2-year running alpha world in one of the earlier alpha versions. Like early enough that they still had like the triple chest glitch and the boat duping glitch and all of that. And it is insane. If you want to see a good alpha world, check out that world tour. It is NIXA World Tour. And I don't remember how to spell the YouTuber's channel, so I apologize. But in watching it, I noticed a few things that I kind of want to incorporate into my world. I don't want to like steal any of their design choices, but they clearly knew like the nuances of the alpha version that they were playing way better than I did. So, you know, they were just way more creative with the mechanics. One such creative mechanic that they used was they had a semi-automatic sugarcane farm that was controlled by picking up a single water source block, because it like all of their water streams here weren't just full water. It was all the same source block that started up at the top. So I would like to try to incorporate something similar into this design. I don't know if this is suitable to actually try that, but if it is, that'd be really handy, because their farm, they could harvest it in like 30 seconds, and this takes a little longer, not too much longer, but enough where I think trying to make that work would be cool. Oh, one other thing that they did that I kind of want to incorporate right now, I think, is they had a skeleton farm that just used, you know, water streams and dropped them. But at the bottom, they had these fence posts with water running over them. And the idea there was that fence posts are technically higher than they appear. They're 1.5 blocks. And with a thin water stream running over top, it doesn't really negate the fall damage, but it does push the items towards the player. So it'd be way easier for me to like sit there and just collect the stuff. So I think I'll try to implement that now. I hope I have enough space. I think if I remove this glass block and that torch and have it kind of run from the back, it would work. I'll have to figure that out. And after a little bit of finagling, we got this guy installed. Looks pretty nice. You can see I did have to pop it out one here. The reason being, with the way I installed the water streams, which is kind of the only way that I can install them, because that stone block back there is actually the lift up part of the drop shaft. The up shoot, I don't know. Where the way I built it though, the mobs kept falling on the second to last bit of the water stream. So now they fall on the actual last bit. And you can see by the gunpowder I picked up, it actually works, which is very nice. I was kind of worried that this design, maybe I didn't drop them far enough and I'd have to raise it up even more, but it worked out. You can also see that, that I popped out the stage 1 block. It was just a bit too narrow for comfort here, so this is the new working stage design. Those guys will be replaced by glowstone. Side note, I rewatched one of my older videos and I realized I actually established that whole like wool and torches thing will be glowstone way back when we did the wood part of the viaduct. I don't think I really established it for myself, but it's just kind of interesting that I built the same thing to be later replaced by glowstone. So I think it looks pretty good. I might put in... no, actually, I'll probably swap out fence posts, but I'll do that later. Also, I did some digging. I talked about how the mob farm, or the skeleton farm, is kind of in a bad spot. So I uncovered it all, dug out all the stone and dirt on top of it so we could get a better idea of what we're working with. Now, when I built that, I've built a lot of mob farms, but like usually they all follow this design, and I actually think we could build a much smaller one. Like these side streams here, I don't think we even need them. We might be able to just put water like on the ground where they spawn in and have them go to a central shaft. So I might try to mess around with this to make it a little smaller. But what I think we will definitely do is probably rotate it 90 degrees and put the drop shaft somewhere like on this side, or we'll put it on the back side. But I just don't think it's like positioned well where it is. So we'll work on that later though. I think what we're going to start with is the first floor here. Okay, so it's been a few days since that last clip. I'm just going to preemptively apologize now. This video is definitely going to come out later than usual, particularly just because it is just taking a really long time to gather all the materials for this. I've been building what the library is going to look like in my test world, and I think it looks so good. The final result is going to be insane, in my opinion. But I haven't done nothing. So first thing you'll notice is I did actually end up just going and breaking this down to its base components. That cube is like the minimum spawn space it'll need. So that kind of helps us figure out where it's going to go. Thankfully, it's actually centered on the middle line of torches there. The spawner is. So that's super nice. It's not in line with one of the torches. It's like one off, which is honestly surprising. So that should at least help us when we do figure out what the design's going to be in the future. I haven't finished pre-building the library in my test world, but I've gotten it to a point where I can kind of estimate how many resources we're going to need. So I crunched the numbers. It's a lot. I want to see how much wood I've got here. I have 11 stacks. Okay, that's not nearly enough. Just for the first floor, we're going to need 18 stacks of bookshelves, 16 stacks of logs, 12 and a half stacks of planks, 11 stacks of fence, 3 stacks of stairs, 2 stacks of wool, and 3 stacks of glass. So for all the wood-based stuff, that comes out to a total of 21 stacks of logs. That's actually excluding the 18 stacks of bookshelves, because I think I've got the bookshelves pre-assembled already, so I don't think I need to include that. The number crunching was more for myself, but I was like, hey, I should let you guys know too. So that being said, I am actually going to go chop down a bunch of wood. You're not going to see that all, the next clip will be whatever changes I've made here. But yeah, this video is going to take a while to come out, particularly because I need to gather so many resources. That's not even including, like, the top floor is going to be way more, because it's got so many rows of bookshelves. So another thing I would like to note is I figured out where I would have like the little maze section. That's going to be over here. It's going to start pretty much like right here, I think. I think it's going to start in line with this row of torches. And then for this section, that's going to be like study seating, like the tables, the really long ones that you see in like public libraries. So yeah, and then I'll put some like windows there. And then I haven't figured out really the top floor. Or I mean, I have, but there's not anything like special on the top floor yet. It's just, rows of books. So I'm gonna get started here and hopefully be able to post this video before November. It's been a few days, so let's look at the resource haul. You can see I got quite a lot of wood. This isn't all of it. I still have more at the tree farm, pre-chopped, and some that are growing right now. I went a bit overboard, but I know we're going to use all of this and more for the top floor, so I might as well just be prepared. I pretty much just watched House MD, and regrew and chopped down the trees when they would finally finish. It feels like they take a lot longer in this version. I don't know if that's true, but it feels like it. That or the game is just spiting me. So, a few things. On this side, I put all the posts in on the first floor. But on this side, you can see that the posts kind of do this weird, they go out, then in, then back out. While on this side, you can see that they just run straight down. That's because, again, this side will be the maze library thing, or the just maze in the library, I suppose. This is a library. And there will be bookshelves on the wall, so those posts will kind of need to blend in. While this side is a seating area for people that want to enjoy the space, so I suppose I should make the space a little more enjoyable. So I think I'm going to put like fence running through that and little decorations in the wall, make it look nice. I'm probably going to start on this side first, just because, in my opinion, it's a little more boring, a little less story to it, you know? I've got a good idea for the maze, not for the layout of the maze, but just for the maze as a storytelling device. So I'll probably get the actual layout at least framed out, but the one I did in the test world is a lot different. I really just threw bookshelves around. So this one's going to be actually, thought out. But yeah, so let me get started on the seating area. Oh my, okay. I don't even know how to react to this information. I was working on the other room and I accidentally misplaced a bookshelf. Side note, we'll do this one time on camera. Because when I misplaced the bookshelf, I broke it and got nothing back. Turns out, you only get 3 books back when you break a bookshelf in full release 1.0 and later, which means we have to go all of beta without being able to get anything back from breaking a bookshelf, which really sucks because we are making a library with lots of bookshelves. So I guess I have to keep that in mind. Only wasted about 5 or 10 bookshelves, but here's how we're looking on the seating area. I think it looks pretty nice. I sort of based it off of the New York Public Library in the city. I think the idea came across at least that it is a seating area. It might not be, that particular one. I more just wanted it to give off the vibe of like, this table is not for one person. It's like for anybody who sits here. And then these bookshelves are like people leaving their books on the table, or maybe like little book cubbies on the table. I randomized them though, so it's probably the former. And then these little things on the wall are supposed to be like book drop-offs, or again, like other bookshelves, maybe for people to use while they're sitting at these tables. And then on the other side, I put some windows in. Very nice. And then finally, I put these chests in here as sort of like storytelling. People would, I guess, drop off their books here. I know there's probably an actual book drop-off in a library, but it feels like they would set this up just so people didn't leave books all over the place. So, and then these little like light posts, the 2 on the ends here are only 4 blocks long, and this one is 5. And then coming over here to the maze, I got the first level placed. Let me give you an aerial view. I got the first level placed here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like figure out what I want to say about it. This is going to be the final design. It's much different from what I had on the test world, but this one like actually is able to be navigated pretty easily, or actually not pretty easily. That was more the point. I think I'm gonna put like little trap falls in there, like right here. I think I'm gonna have it like a stairwell up that looks like it's supposed to be going the right way, if you've only done the maze once, and it'll drop you back down onto this side, which is not the right solution. You can see here the solution will be going this way, up, over, and then into that little back room there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put in there. Maybe like the librarian's secret books or whatever. But that's the working design. So now I pretty much just have to build up these book stacks. Okay, it's been a few days later and we have finished the book stack maze. I think it looks really good. It came out great. Especially the front here. I like how the stairs pop everything out. You can see I followed that oak plank trend on the third block layer here. That was more to break up the visual monotony of just all of the bookshelves while you're inside the maze, also to save me a few resources. I didn't do that with the bottom and top because I want there to be actual bookshelves inside. And the bottom and top here were really just for, you know, like the front view. So looks very nice. And then going in, here's where that sneaky drop down looks. I put some blocks above so that you actually can't see this drop down if you're standing on the second floor. That way it's, you know, a trick for anybody who goes in. And here's how it looks on the other side. Now, I wanted to put some chests inside the maze to, you know, be some treats for people who come in and make a wrong turn. Like, you know, there'd be a chest here and have something cool inside. I haven't done that yet. I think I'll do that after I've finished building everything. I'll put the small decorations in. But I did do the small decorations in this room. This is the secret teacher's lounge, I've decided. And this is their chest of secret books. So looks all right. I didn't have a whole lot of space, so I did with it what I could. And then, you know, again, I think I'll put like a secret chest here and probably like one or two more in the maze. So now, coming out, if I can find my way. Yep, okay. I actually get lost in this maze quite a lot now, which is good. I'm glad. But you'd think I'd figured it out after walking through a few times. I guess not. But now I want to get a start on the reception desk. It's going to be like a half circle coming pretty much right to this pathway. I was thinking about it. There's actually not a whole lot left for the first floor here, or not a whole lot left that I have designed. There will be the reception desk. We need to dress up these hallways, which will really just be putting like a pathway through and putting some fence under the stairs so they don't look like they're floating. And then on this side, did a mob just die? That's weird. And then on this side, I'd like some windows on this wall. I might put some windows on the other walls, but like none of the other walls are actually open to the air, so I don't know how that'll work. But yeah, and then I think I might do a room on the other side of this wall that'll be like, I don't know, backstock for whoever's working at the reception desk, or maybe like an office for them. So yeah, let me, I guess, get started on the desk here. So let me tell you a story. So for the past few days, I have been studying for a test in my partial differential equations class because I'm a math major. And I've been studying for a while, and I know all the information. And so I went into the test and, you know, studied for days, really grinded out this material. And I walked in and just failed. Like, I know I failed that test. I haven't gotten the grade back, but I know I did. And that really hurts because I really enjoy math. But whatever. So I came home to play some Minecraft, right? And I had it open in the background while I was doing something else. And then I accidentally bumped my PC and my disk drive started skipping. And I was like, well, that's bad. So I just restarted my PC. My disk drive doesn't store any of my Minecraft stuff. That goes on the SSD, so I wasn't super worried. And then I loaded up Minecraft again. And where my world 1 was, I had an empty slot. And so I panicked. And I clicked on the empty slot, and it generated a world. And it was my world. It was the Minecraft Memoir world. So I was like, oh, okay. Problem, what? Avoided? Yeah. Um, and then I walked around in the world and I kept experiencing crashes every time I would get to a certain area. So the first time ever in the like 12 years I've played Minecraft, I got a corrupted world, which sucks. So I've spent the last few days fixing the world, and finally I've gotten it to a point where it is now fixed. I'm actually like totally staging this. I've been walking around the world testing to see if it worked, and it did, thankfully. So, talking about how this episode was going to take a while to come out, this is also one of the many reasons. This has taken a lot of days to fix. I had to post on some forums to see, what could be the problem. Turns out there were some corrupted chunks over that way, which I'll show you in a second. But you can also see here, my inventory is completely empty, and we are right here at 172, negative 32. And you can see I'm perfectly at 0.5 because the crash also reset our world spawn. So it's now here instead of all the way back there, which also kind of sucks. I'm going to try to figure out how to fix that, but until I do, our spawn will be there. I also, as you can tell, lost my entire inventory, and that sucks as well. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff on me, but I did have like a full set of, or not a full set, but I think everything but picks of diamond tools. So what? Yeah, 6 diamonds. Not a huge loss, but a loss enough that I mourn it. So I spawned in there and I was like, okay, well, I'm in my world, and so I just started walking this way. You're coming with me. So I would get to about the beachhead here, and the game would crash. It was giving me an array out of bounds exception, something like that, which from my computer science friends means, and I'm not very well versed in computer science, so I had to crowdsource for this answer. So it might not be 100% correct. But that means that there's an array somewhere that is being stored for the game that is partially or fully like unfilled out, empty, and the game screams when it tries to add values to something where like there are already values. So as you can see here, we've come to our first chunk error. So I had to reload 3 chunks. I actually thought it would be way more. I was AFKing over by the mob farm, so I thought it would be those chunks, but thankfully it was only 3 chunks I had to delete. So here are 2 of them. It regened them as this like beach here. I think the world gen changed from whatever version I started this world on, which was 1.2.5 to now 1.2.6, I guess. I didn't realize, but yeah, it must have. That or it's pulling it from a new seed, which we will find confirmation on if I generate new chunks that way and we get like weird boundary issues. So that one's all right. I can just kind of smooth that over and make it look like, it's just part of this landscape here. Then you keep going further up. Actually, I don't know the right pathway here. I don't walk around anymore. I usually just use the railway. Yeah. You keep walking up, and you get this one. And this one seems to have generated an ocean biome for this chunk, of course. This one will be a little harder to hide. I think I might actually try to work with it, make it into like some sort of crater, or, just cliffs, whatever. This is the 3rd chunk that was corrupted. So that's all the damage. Took me almost a week to get everything all figured out. Thankfully, I found a post on Minecraft forums. I actually made a post on Minecraft forums, and somebody linked to me even more helpful information there. But that with another one, I found some old MC Edit files, one that would actually work for this alpha version, and I was able to get it loaded and delete those chunks. So this is just a PSA. Don't bump your computer and make backups. I have stored all of my stuff in here. I rebuilt like a bunch of tools. That's why I was saying the whole thing was staged. I killed myself so I could show you like where we spawned at. So yeah, but that being the case, and me telling you this long story, we have reached the end of the episode here. I am very sorry that this wasn't probably as quality of an episode as you'd hoped, but we will get back into it in the next one for sure. I haven't done anything in the reception area, or like the reception desk, so that'll be for next episode. I'll probably get it done in between now and then. Oh, actually, there is one last thing I'd like to clarify before ending the episode. The reason why I didn't record any of this, record the world crashing, first and foremost, I was full on panic mode. I mean, I was still reeling from having just failed that test. And then to come home in my Minecraft world of like 2+ years being corrupted, I was just not in the mood to record. Also, a lot of it was done in like third-party programs like MC Edit or just on the internet looking for solutions. So you wouldn't have seen a whole lot of the work anyway. But also, if I had showed you it crashing, when the game crashes, it goes to a windowed view. And since I record these in full screen, it probably would have just given you a white screen instead of actually showing you the crash report. So that was enough rationalizing. I was like, nah, it's not worth it. Let me just fix it. Because I honestly didn't know if it would fix it all. So hopefully it's fixed. If it's not, if there's a sneaky corrupted chunk hidden around somewhere, I do know the solution now, which is nice. Wish I didn't have to deal with it in the first place. So yeah, thank you again for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.